It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Dolphins and the Seahawks. And it comes your way next on Madden Football.
It's a stadium known for its design, its noise, and a fan base so passionate. Brock, you know this firsthand. They've retired a jersey number for them. Welcome, everybody, to Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, this goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears.
Michael Dixon with the honor of getting us started. And away we go from Lumen Field. To return, here's Raheem Mostert. This return makes it up to the 25. So the Dolphins offense headed out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the fifth-year lefty out of Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa.
A bit of an uneventful outing individually last week, Kate. A touchdown and a pick for him, but the lasting memory, there's no question about it. Walking off that field with the loss, that stings. No doubt he feels he could have done more to prevent that result, so expect to see a motivated individual taking snaps here this week.
Tagovailoa off the play fake. Going deep right away. Run down, and at the end he loses the football. It's not free. Oh, he scoops up his own mistake. Huge pick on the play. And that will give them some serious momentum along with a first down. Wow, that was fast. Might be time to take a step back, and we just started this game. Maybe take a couple of deep breaths. Very first snap, and he nearly gave it away. That could have mentally taken them out of this game.
Yeah, for the player, a little bit easier to respond on the sidelines. That drives him crazy to see the ball on the ground. And we know how precious this ball is in this game. Got to take care of it.
And this one too far in front, incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And it sets up second down. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And he's stopped down at the 16 after a small gain on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. They kick the running back in motion. Throwing, here's Tagovailoa on 3rd. The throw is caught. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. A nice gain of 8 there, and that brings them to 1st and goal. Man in motion, out of the slot. Trying to run it in, Achane. And into a sea of bodies he goes. Looks like they'll get about 3 out of it.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Achane again on 2nd. And they'll bring him down after an all-right gain. A 4-yard pickup, and they're just inches shy as we reach 3rd down. Achane goes out. The Dolphins finish up an excellent opening series. Devon Achane with the touchdown. What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone while getting your offense established and into top gear right here early on.
Sanders all set to send it away. D. Eskridge to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. So out come the Seahawks for their first offensive possession. leading them out to man in his 13th NFL season and rising quickly up the career leaderboards. Russell Wilson.
Look beyond his performance last week is really a root cause of their loss. I'm not saying the only cause. Others certainly had a hand in it too. But you aren't winning a lot of games in this league or any league if you turn it over 3 times without a touchdown to counteract them. A lot of room for him to improve this week.
And that's good for a gain of 5. Brandon Jones up for the stop. Now we'll take a moment to check out his numbers on the ground from a week ago. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Running with Walker again. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you'll really break the backs of the defense.
And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. They'll motion to lock it right. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Elandon Roberts coming over for the hit. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Picking the handoff, now Wilson. Dump off caught by his back. And they limit the damage, just a few yards on that gain. Tackled there by Jerome Baker. 3rd and just 2 to go. Walker now from the gun. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. And the Seahawks will have a first down. Russ off the play fake. Bails out of the puck. Oh, he was on the move, and so was the defense, and they take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Another try following the sack. Finds Smith and Jigba. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You'll hear defensive coaches all the time really ask their players to pull the trigger. Read, react, diagnose, and when you see it, go fire away. And that's exactly what the defense does to take away that screen.
So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and, well, they got one of them to move that time. Now Wilson on 3rd and long. Into the hands of Walker. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, sometimes even 4th. But it takes great play to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
And his job's done, and it is a job well done. That punt fight's deep into enemy territory, out of bounds at the 7. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. Looking right, and he finds him. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Tagovailoa on 1st down. Fits it through the middle. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. It's a 21-yard gain. And it'll be first down, Miami. Running with A-Chain out of the gun. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Brought down by the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Running back sent in motion. Tua now from the gun. That's caught, Devon Achane. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that's going to give the Dolphins a first down. Now Tagovailoa to throw. On target to Waddle. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. They managed 22 on the rip and a first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
All set up now for 1st and 10. Throwing with a blitz on the way. That's Gesicki. He's got it. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns. He puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
Working inside the red zone. Caught near the pylon. And he pushes it all the way to the goal line, but goes out at the 1. Second chance at 6 here. It's 2nd and goal. They've got a man in motion. Fullback trying to power it across. And he runs it across. Touchdown. The Dolphins pull out in front further. 13-zip. If there's an argument for continuing to rely on a fullback, Brock, it is plays just like that remind us. They're pretty good at barreling in for touchdowns when they're given the chance.
And you know the greatest fullback name ever? Maybe you need to name your son Sam Gash. Because that dude, when I think fullback, I think Sam Gash just gashing people for touchdowns.
That one splits the uprights. And the Dolphins drive out to an early 14-0 lead. Sanders all set to send it away. Return coming from the 6. Finds some space, he's past the 30. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. The Seahawks taking the field for their 2nd possession. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. Out left, and Lockett makes the grab. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Elandon Roberts coming over for the hit. Second and 10 now. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Russ now from the gun. Flush down out to his left. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
Michael Dixon on to punt. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. Same as a touchback here. Fair catch made at the 20. The Dolphins are headed out there alongside Jalen Waddle for this next series. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. 1st and 10 now. Here's Tagovailoa. Finds his man Waddle. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. 2nd and 3 now. They will not get another playoff. We're at the end of one. Our score, 14-0. More from Lumen Field in just a minute. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Dolphin football as we begin. They're looking at 2nd and 3. They motion the tight end over. From the 28. Into the hands of Gesicki, complete. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Got Washington, and he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire first half. They drop him behind the line. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Tagovailoa working from the pistol. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that first down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he's able to get this down to the 36.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Completed over the middle. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it'll be 1st down, Miami. Motion man sent left. On 1st down, here's Tagovailoa. It's caught at the 4! And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Achan. Call it no gain that time, and they'll have 2nd and goal.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to...
And in for the Miami touchdown! He hung in there as long as he could. A lot of quarterbacks would have bailed out, and it was what you talked about, Brock, that courage that kept the chant for the touchdown alive.
Yeah, that touchdown's going to show up on his stat sheet making the catch or the quarterback stat sheet for making the throw, but hey, can we put some touchdowns up there for the big boys up front? It was their blocking and buying of time for that play that led to the score.
Sanders connects on the point after. And the Dolphins stretch their lead to 21. Sanders all set to send it away. Eskridge on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Seattle offense eager to get back on the field. And things are really getting away from him, so an important moment here to try and get a sustained possession going. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. First play of the drive. Here's Walker. And finally, they bring him down. He shook off a couple of defenders there on a nice pickup. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Ross off the play fake. Not enough on this throw. It hits the turf instead of his man. DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. Shotgun snap for Wilson. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kader Kohu. And the Dolphins will take over as he records his first interception of our season. 3rd down from this distance, Brock. That is a spot you expect your offense to convert, but you also expect your defense to make the stop. This time, the defense won out with a nice interception.
Yeah, in that scenario, it's really like an outfielder in baseball, Kate, right? If you're going to go for it, as a defender, if you're going to just pull the trigger and you're going to go for it, you better make it happen, and you better get that pick. Otherwise, you're giving up a 1st down conversion. He gets the pick, and those defensive coaches and that defense celebrating on the sidelines.
1st down, Tagovailoa to throw. It's taken in by Washington. This is ahead for about 5. Brought down by the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Tua off the play fake. That one's complete, right side. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. They send the tight end in motion. Trying again, following the sack. This one delivered off target, Brock. That's incomplete. That one intended for Jalen Waddle. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Now they send their back in motion right. Hauled in by Waddle. And he works this to the 38 before going down.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And this looks like it got just inside the 20 as it flew out, and indeed it did. They're putting the line. The Seahawks offense running out now. They are coming off their 1st interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. Walker on 1st down. And he'll have it up to about the 23-yard line on the play. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5. From the 23. Catch is made down the right sideline. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. 35 on the pickup. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
He's only going to manage to get back to the line. Tackled there by Jerome Baker. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Wilson now off the play action. Smith and Jigba there to grab it. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down. Now an inside give to Walker. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Walker gets the 1st and more. And he's all the way down to the 10-yard line. The big play nets him 17 yards. And it sets up Seattle with first down. Man in motion here. Wilson now, first and 10. Has it down close. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion.
And he's going to score. Touchdown, Seattle. The Seahawks fighting back and shaving 6 off that lead. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position can be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
Point after up and good for Myers. And the Seahawks get it back to a 14-point game. On now is Dixon to kick this one away. He fields it from the 8. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Dolphins are back on offense. Tua Tagovailoa out there once again. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. On play action, here's Tagovailoa. Wow, wide open here, complete. Now he's past the 25. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
So many cool fundamentals on display right there, Kate. Look the ball in your hands, number one. Don't turn your eyes away from it before it gets to you. And then when you've got that catch secured, snap that head forward and find that space upfield to turn a good play into a great play.
We're at the 2-minute warning now from Seattle. The Dolphins driving ahead. They'll come up first and 10. Tua now from the gun. Finds him over the middle. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Too much on that, and it sails through the end zone incomplete. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Here's Tagovailoa again. Forced out to his right. He slides down inside the 5-yard line. A gain of 5, Brock, and now they're going to have first and goal.
I love that play. I mean, that's quarterback 101. Nothing downfield, get what you can with your legs, but so much more importantly, protect yourself. Availability, one of the most important abilities for any quarterback.
This offense in position now, it's first and goal. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. And the defender comes away with it. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon.
Not a lot of one-play swings bigger than that one right there. That throw looked destined for 6, and instead, it gets intercepted by the defense. The only way to get bigger is if he somehow returned it 100-plus yards for 6 the other way. But what a gigantic swing of emotion.
The Seahawks start headed out, and we'll see Kenneth Walker. And with exactly 1 minute left to go, they've got some time, but they've got to work fairly quick. Drive starts out with a first and 10. Wilson looking to throw. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. The Seahawks calling for a timeout. They're first to 3. From the 28. Walker hauls it in. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. Now Seattle going to call its second timeout. First down, here's Russ. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Sticking in the air with Wilson. Escapes the pocket. He's running with it. Now the Seahawks are going to spend their third and final timeout. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's throwing deep to the left side. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
And the fair catch made here at the 15. The Dolphins are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And at the pace he's begun the game throwing the football, Brock, he is in line for a special type of performance if they need to keep throwing it until the end. First down, here's Tua. Has a man, it's Achan. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Julian Love bringing that one to an end. 2nd and 6 coming up here. This time they'll keep it on the ground. And he doesn't get much there on what turns out to be the final play of the half. That brings us to the break. The visiting Dolphins holding an early advantage. Now we'll send you from one end of the country all the way to the other. Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. More from you and Brock in a moment. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here and what's already been an eventful afternoon of football. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Geno Smith, sharp in the victory, as his guys bounce back from a tough start to the year to claim victory number 1. It was a strong first half from the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa. He's over 300 yards passing already as he's looking to possibly put his name in the record book. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just
Sanders
yet.
all set to
I think
send
there
it
could
away.
still be some fireworks yet to come.
That's going to be taken in at the 8. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Seahawks sending their offense out to begin the 3rd quarter. And that passing game they went to in the first half, it's going to need to be firing to start this second half too as they chase this lead. First down throw from Wilson. Complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll go down and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. Putting the tight end in motion. On first down, it's Wilson. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
They kick the running back in motion. To throw again on 2nd and 10, Wilson. That's grabbed inside the 30. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw, when you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. Russ is cooking again. Oh my, it's intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Xavier Howard.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him, backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this third quarter. Tagovailoa on first down. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it second down. Here's A-Chain up the middle. He's got a gain of 6 there. Byron Murphy there to make the play. The rookie from Texas there on the tackle. 3rd and 4 coming up now. Tagovailoa off the play fake. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. That one gains 7. And that's going to give the Dolphins a first down. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Tua off the play fake. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete. Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. Got a man. It's Gesicki. And he gets him around 6 there. That was Darrell Taylor in to make the stop.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
What a great opportunity for him. You can almost feel that bounce in his step. Facing a southpaw, and he gets to rush the blind side. Well, anytime he beats that right tackle, it just comes down to his closing speed and his finishing ability at the quarterback.
And he'll get under this one and make the fair catch at the 19-yard line. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Seahawks drive is going to start from deep in their own territory. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. That's caught. Here's Zach Charbonnet. And he'll have it up to about the 23-yard line on the play.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
This is Walker on second. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. Javon Holland there to make the stop. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Picking the handoff. Now Wilson. Buying some time right. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And they're going to have to regroup after this one.
No one picks him up, and he reminded everyone in the building why that's a major mistake. The linebacker's athleticism on full display. A sack in under 2 seconds? That's a select group of players on the planet who could pull that off.
And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. The visitors ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. On first down, they're going to start out with A-Chan. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Second down carry for A-Chan. And defenders are there to get him at the line. That was Darrell Taylor in to make the stop. 3rd down, 1 yard to go. Oh, and they're going to have the fullback trying power for it. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
He's not their bell cow. He's certainly not their breakaway type of runner, but he got the job done. He simply had to get forward, reach the first down before the defense could knock him back.
First down, Tagovailoa to throw. That's Gesicki, he's got it! And they're gonna bring him down just on the other side of midfield. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down. First give of the game here to Raheem Mostert. And he's only gonna get 2 or 3 yards on that one.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
A-chain on the inside give. And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that first down. Here we go, third and less than a yard. They go play action with Tagovailoa. He's on the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up fourth down. So the Dolphins readying for the punt. Jake Bailey's going to kick it away. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. Oh, he nearly coffin cornered that one. Just a little too far, and it's out of the side of the end zone for a touchback. Now Seattle all set to go here on offense. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Hand off to Walker from the gun. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Brought down by Christian Wilkins. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Russ off the play fake. Into the hands of Walker. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. And the Dolphins in a nickel set for this third down. Russ now from the gun. Metcalf there to bring it in. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
A give up the gut to Walker. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Running back sent in motion. 2nd and 8. We've got a screen to the running back. Nowhere really for him to go. He steps out, and they're going to lose some yardage. This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. Shotgun snap for Wilson. Complete beyond the marker. And he got this close to midfield before going out. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. To the ground with Walker. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Down the sideline inside the 40. And he has it almost to the red zone down at the 21-yard line. They'll get 31 yards on the play. And it sets up Seattle with first down. Wilson now from the gun. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle! The Seahawks shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown! If you're going to complete that one successfully, Brock, you need the perfect throw, just the right touch, and you also need a guy who can go up and get it just like that.
Yeah, need to be able to muscle somebody off the ball. A little bias, go ahead, I don't care.
You're
But the
biased.
success of that play does come down to the timing of the throw, Kate. If you don't throw it on time to that exact spot, you run out of room, and you don't give yourself that kind of chance.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. His return starts at the 5. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver. And he has kept his pace up in the second half. His quarterback more than happy to keep throwing it his way, considering what he's been able to do with his looks all game. 1st and 10 now. Here's Tagovailoa. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there when you saw the field. It's going to be 2nd down. Throwing again. Here's Tua. Into the hands of Gesicki. Complete. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12. 1st and 10 from the 41. Tua setting up to throw. Complete out to the right. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. 2nd and 3 now. To the air yet again, Tagovailoa. Cut out left. And he's going to be across midfield, close to the 45 before going out. Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Here's Tua again. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Sticking to the air, it's Tagovailoa. Has him on the quick hitter. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. Putting a receiver in motion. Not 1st down. Here's Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught by Washington. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Tagovailoa on 1st down. Has it down close. Touchdown, Miami. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Dolphins double their lead to 14. Sanders all set to send it away. Eskridge on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Seahawks and Russell Wilson headed back to the field now. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. It's Walker on the give. And all he can get is 1 yard, ran that right into the defensive front.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
That's Smith and Jigba on the quick slant. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. That play good for 17 on a first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Play action, it's Wilson. It's caught Metcalf. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down. To throw, here's Wilson. Dumps it off to his running back. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
I know coordinator and quarterback going to be upset with that first down because you call a screen on first, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, that defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
Completed to Lockett. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
Walker hauls it in. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. He manages a gain of 8 there. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. He keeps those feet in and makes the catch. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. Russ is cooking again. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. Touchdown, Seattle! All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Myers to add the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Seahawks chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Fielded at the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Dolphins sending their offense back out there. And after that touchdown, cut their lead back to 1 score, Brock. A response in order as they take over. First down, Tagovailoa to throw. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. Out of the shotgun, a give to A.J. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Tagovailoa facing 3rd and long. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up. No luck finding his receiver that time. So that brings up 4th and long. They'll bring out the punter here. He'll try to hit this one well. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. His work begins at the 31. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Seahawks returning their offense and this running back to the field. And get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. Wilson now, 1st and 10. Metcalf's got it, complete. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Walker now from the gun. And his charge towards the line, that's right around 3 yards.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Running with Walker again. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to leave him with 3rd and 3. He's back to throw. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
You know, it's fascinating how those routes you run so many times in practice become a whole lot more difficult in the actual game. That was an important 3rd and short to convert. Very surprised to see that play fail.
And they were giving him no chance to return this one. It soars over the sideline deep in enemy territory. Looks like right around the 8. Miami set to take over once again on offense. Their last drive didn't make it very far before they had to punt it away, partner. So hopefully this one has some better legs to it. And not much going there. Short run only reaches the 10. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. He goes back to him yet again, complete. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from Seattle. Dolphins leading by 7. And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Running with A-Chain out of the gun. And he's tackled for a short gain. Now just 4 seconds after our 2-minute warning, we've got another pause. Timeout taken by the defense. Receiver in motion, headed right. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. No surprises here. Defense quick to stop that clock. We've got 1:53 left in this game. Third down run from Achane. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. Now the Seahawks are going to spend their 3rd and final timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the 1st. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
And the look outside yields no fruit. They make the stop near the line of scrimmage. Setting up for the kneel down on 3rd. He'll go to a knee to close this one out, Brock, and it's only fitting that he's holding the ball in the end after the absolutely tremendous game that he had.
Now, Kate, let's celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
And he's brought down before the return gets far. So it's a win for the visiting Dolphins. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with the victory. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins, your winners, as we say so long from Seattle.